What's poppin', Attack Squad? It's your boy SatAttack. Y'all see the title? We just got done reacted Near Death Part 118. If you wanna check that out, that's what I was gonna search in. We're gonna take our top 7 reaction of innocent convicts set free. But if y'all enjoyed that, subscribe and that road 2K help that one super gonna tell me. Let's get straight into it, man. This is wild, bro. Like, this is like the worst fear ever, right? Like, you ain't even do the crime, you like, bro, this is like the worst fear you could ever imagine. Of course, some dangers like dying and shit, tsunami, like, but this shit is fucking cruel,
this
bro.
Is John Bunn. He spent 27 years wrongfully convicted.
Bro could be the nicest person in the world, but he spent 27 years in jail because of some wrongfully. Like, bro, what are we doing here, bro?
Murder.
I'm an innocent man.
How do you find it 27 years later that he's innocent? Like, why couldn't they find, like, how did that work? Like, I know.
And I've always been an innocent man.
While living in Brooklyn, New York, Bunn was only 14 years old when he was arrested by NYPD
bro lost his
detective
teenage life, lost his 20s, lost his 30s, lost his chance of probably, you probably, I don't know, bro, lost everything, bro. Like, bro, you're supposed to be living lit. Teenagers, 20s, 30s, and you lost all that shit. Bro, you didn't even get to experience fucking partying, girls, none of that shit, bro.
Sella. Bunn later spent 16 years behind bars and then 11 years out on parole, where he still fought to prove his innocence.
Wait.
And then 11 years out on parole, where he spent 16 years behind bars and then 11 years out on parole, where he still fought to prove his innocence. Then finally, his conviction was overturned based on the wrongdoing of Detective Scarcella and the fact that there wasn't even probable cause to arrest Bunn in the first place.
I want y'all to know that y'all convicted and had a wrong man in prison.
And after 27 years of fighting to clear his name, he is finally exonerated.
Thank you, because for 27 years I've been fighting for my life.
But before he leaves the courtroom, he has a moment with the judge. Bunn later filed a lawsuit against the city of New York and Detective Scarcella.
Yes, sir. What the fuck? Yes, sir. You better, bro. The law, bro, cost you that much time.
This is David Ranta. He spent 22 years behind bars for a murder he did not commit. In Brooklyn, New York, Ranta was arrested by Detective Louis Scarcella.
Bro, I'm just imagine 22 years just wasted in a fucking cell, bro. Like, for shit you did not even do, bro. Like, bro, imagine being in jail for like a week, bro. That shit probably like feel like it's been like 30 years, but bro, all you're doing
Yes, this is another wrongful conviction that's connected to Scarcella. Ranta was put in a police lineup.
Something wrong with that fool, bro. Someone gotta put that boy in for 22 years, bro. Like, bro, how you mess up 2 people's lives, bro?
By Scarcella, and was identified as the shooter. But decades later, reportedly, the key witness revealed that the detective had provided him with a description of whom to pick in the lineup. There was no physical evidence linking Ranta to the killing, and the evidence presented to the jury was allegedly fabricated. Ranta was then convicted and sentenced to 37.5 years.
Whatever. Wait, did it say it?
Ranta was then convicted and sentenced to 37.5.
37. Is that the fucking officer? No, that's Louis. What?
There was no physical evidence linking Ranta to the killing, and the evidence presented to the jury was allegedly fabricated. Ranta was then convicted and sentenced to 37.5 years to life in prison. But after spending over 2 decades in prison, the former witnesses admitted that they were pressured into testifying against Ranta. And now, this is the moment his conviction gets thrown out.
Mr. Ranta, to say that I'm sorry for what you have endured would be an understatement and grossly inadequate, but I say it to you anyway. The defendant's motion to vacate the judgment of conviction is granted.
What they gonna do with the cops? I don't give a fuck no more, bro. Get that cop the fuck out of here. Put him in jail, bro.
After his handcuffs were removed, he hugged his family. With all he owned thrown over his back,
fabricated statement, bro.
He walks out a free man. After his release, he reportedly received $2 million from the state and a $6.4 million settlement from the city of New York.
Fuck that cop, man.
This is Susan Mellon. She was sentenced
Respect
to
that
life
way. Congrats on your money. But you lost 22 years of your life, bro.
in prison without parole based on an untruthful testimony. She was 42 years old when she was arrested in Los Angeles, California, at a McDonald's while taking her daughter to get a Happy Meal. But that was the last time she would see her child for 7 years, as she was charged for the murder of an ex-boyfriend.
You are under arrest now for murder.
Mellon's conviction was based solely on an informant who claimed that Mellon had confessed the killing to her.
Y'all believe what? Bro, how we fucking putting people in for this long over some shit? That's it? There's no fucking DNA, none in that y'all just believe in some random person that said, bro.
Solely on an informant who claimed that Mellon had confessed the killing to her. She was in prison for a total of 17 years until the informant was proven to be a pathological liar and an unreliable witness. And now, this is the moment that Mellon's case is finally overturned.
The judgment is vacated. The conviction over.
Yeah, oh my god, bro. That shit pissing me off.
As to Miss Mellon, the case is dismissed.
From tears in one moment to jumping in joy the next. When released, Mellon took her daughter to McDonald's to deliver that long-awaited Happy Meal. The state of California awarded Mellon $597,000 in compensation, and reportedly, the Los Angeles City Council agreed to pay $12 million to Susan Mellon.
Bro, money don't matter. I guess you know.
This is
You wasted her time, bro. But I get she got her fucking money for her family.
He was
now.
sentenced to 55 years to life for crimes he did not commit. Vargas was 29, living in Los Angeles, California, when he was charged with 3 sexual assaults. Based on the similar descriptions of these crimes, police concluded that it was the same person that committed all 3 attacks. Vargas was later convicted on all counts, and he spent a total of 16 years in prison until the California Innocence Project tested DNA on the remaining physical evidence and clothing from one of the victims, and it was not a match, proving that Vargas did not commit these crimes.
Y'all couldn't do that shit earlier? Like, I don't know. Okay.
In fact, innocent because the evidence will show.
I don't know how long that should be taking, but how the fuck it takes 16 years?
Vargas sat silently when he was exonerated from all crimes. Vargas only had one simple wish from his mother for when he would become a free man.
Please buy me a big hamburger and we eat it together.
Reportedly, after Vargas was exonerated, he received $886,000 in state compensation.
That's it?
This is Daniel Villegas. He spent 18 years in prison.
Fucking prison for something.
This is Daniel Villegas. He spent 18 years in prison for a double homicide.
Bro, I'd be angry if fuck the money, fuck me, and said, bro, you. I keep saying this, bro, but that shit
in El
pisses me
Paso,
off.
Texas, Villegas was arrested at 16, where an El Paso detective reportedly threatened him with beatings and the death penalty if he did not confess.
What?
And the teenage Villegas signed a confession that was prepared by the detectives. He tried to withdraw his confession a few hours after, but by then, it was too late. He was charged with 2 counts of capital murder. With the false confession being the only piece of evidence, the jury was unable to agree on a verdict. Villegas had a retrial, and the jury returned a guilty verdict, and he was given a life sentence. After spending 18 years in prison, the verdict was thrown out, and Villegas remained out on bond where he got married and started a family. But now, we're in the 3rd trial.
If the defendant will please stand.
This is the moment that Villegas will find out if he'll go home with his family or be sent back to prison to serve his life sentence.
The state of Texas versus Daniel Villegas. Verdict form B. We, the jury, find the defendant Daniel Villegas not guilty of...
It's crazy that just detectives out here working against you, bro. Not people that setting you up, bro, but it's out here detectives out here.
Villegas is now a free man.
You are no longer under any conditions. You are free to leave. Thank you.
Reportedly, Villegas has filed a lawsuit against the city of El Paso.
Let's go.
This is Ricky Jackson. He spent over 39 years in prison for a murder he did not commit. Jackson was arrested at 18 years old, living in
39,
Cleveland.
18, bro, 56 years old, bro. Yo, bro, what the fuck? At least if you did a crime, you could like, oh, regret it, bro. However long you're in that bit. Oh.
The main witness in the case was a 12-year-old kid named Eddie Vernon, who in fact didn't see anything.
So y'all put my boy in for 39 years over a 12, bro.
The police did pressure him into testifying against Jackson, which then later led to his conviction. Jackson
initially out here fucking doing people dirty for no reason,
sentenced
bro.
to die in the electric chair. To his conviction, Jackson initially was sentenced to die in the electric chair, but after spending 2 years on death row, his death sentence was reduced to life in prison. Nearly 4 decades later, the now 52-year-old Eddie Vernon came forward with the truth, stating that he never saw the murder happen. Charges
Bitch ass motherfucker, bro. You could have come out earlier, bro. I get that fucking pressure you, but you're 52 now, my boy. You could have done that shit when you were 30, 20, like, bro. You live with that for the last 39 years, no damn way you put another person in jail for 39, bro. Bro, I don't care, bro.
Forward with the truth.
How you living knowing that you sent someone else in?
Charges against Jackson were then dropped, and after being wrongfully imprisoned for 39 years, this is the moment that Jackson hears that he is free to go.
Mr. Jackson, you're going to be free to go. Life is filled with small victories, and this is a big one. I wish you good luck. Thank you.
Jackson is now outside for the first time as a free man.
It's a whole different world.
Jackson
39 years
$1
of
million
being outside of the fucking world, bro. Like, that shit is totally different.
in compensation from the state, and an additional $2.65 million for lost income. This is Kirsten Lobato. She served 16 years in prison for a murder she did not commit. At 18 years old, she was charged with the brutal murder of a homeless man in Las Vegas. She was first convicted of first-degree murder, but on a retrial, she was convicted on the lesser charges of voluntary manslaughter.
I'm sorry, bro. My eyes are getting fucked up right now. I can barely open them up right now. That shit hit me right in the face.
And sentenced to 13 to 45 years. And after spending 16 years behind bars, a new hearing was presented with evidence that confirmed the actual day of the victim's death was when Lobato was 3 hours away with her family, proving that Lobato could not have possibly...
How does it take so long to figure this shit out? How long does evidence take for that shit, type of shit to work, bro? Like, what? It took y'all 16 years to figure that shit out, bro? Like, what?
Lobato was 3 hours away with her family.
Maybe it does. I'm not no
could not have possibly committed these crimes.
I'm not
This is Lobato outside for the first time as a free woman.
I feel overwhelmed. I feel excited. I feel grateful. I'm so happy.
Lobato has filed a lawsuit against the Las Vegas Police Department, and her compensation claim is ongoing.
So where's to now? Okay, well, we got let's go shop.
Damn, bro, that is wild. We already checked this out, if y'all enjoyed. Check that out. But if y'all enjoyed, man, that is so tragic, bro. Like, how are you doing this shit, bro? Like, how you purposely put someone else in jail for that long and just feel like just go on with your life, bro? Like, I would have came back like that. I'm still stuck on that 39-year-old Ricky Jackson's case, bro. All of them had some just that shit, but how you live with yourself, my boy? You sent someone else for that long, my boy. But hey, if y'all enjoy, man, we out. That's SatAttack, bro.